Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria, where we inform you on what's happening currently across the Nigerian Federation. I'm Olumide Macaulay. On today's program, a petrol tanker goes up in flames in Edo State. Amnesty beneficiaries accomplish an engineering feat. And U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry in Nigeria in support of girl-child education. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin with a couple of accidents that occurred first in the north and in the south part of the country. First in the northeastern part of the country, a gas explosion has killed one person and injured 6 others in Yobe State. Eyewitnesses say it occurred in Damaturu, the state capital, while army personnel were trying to construct a pipe to hoist flags, and then it killed the welder. Army spokesman for the 27th Task Force Brigade, Lieutenant George Okupe, confirmed the death of the welder as well as injury to 1 personnel of the army and 5 others close to the welding point. Eyewitnesses suspect that the explosive devices may have been embedded in the pipe by insurgents. And in the south-south, residents of Aduawa community in Benin City, the Edo State capital, did not start the day on a good note after a fire from a petrol tanker caused damage to their property. Eyewitness accounts say the tanker, laden with fuel, crashed in front of a petrol station and burst into flames.
Thick black smoke bellowing into the sky, burnt vehicles and shops are images that tell the story of residents and road users of Aduawa axis of Benin City, the Edo State capital, Wednesday morning as a result of this fire outbreak from a truck carrying petrol along the Aduawa end of the Benin-Auchi Expressway. There was pandemonium around the area as shop owners are seen trying to salvage whatever they could from their burnt stores. Vehicular and human traffic was temporarily on hold as officials of the Edo State Fire Service battled to douse the fire. While the director of the Edo State Fire Service tries to put the incident into perspective, this eyewitness also gives an insight into how the inferno started.
What happened was that the vehicle defied the order of the security men that were flagging him down. And then as soon as he came here, there was ignition because the engine was running. And that was how everywhere was on flame. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So we should try as much as possible. If there's distress situation, whoever is available should be able to control the environment. And we should try and listen to one another.
One motor, now it pass. As the motor pass, now the fuel don't say come make boom, now it come on this side.
Meanwhile, distraught shop owners around the scene of the incident recount their losses, appealing to the relevant authorities to come to their rescue.
Everything burned. Come and see the store, not inside. No pin. There is no pin that I will bring out. Even my dryer, even someone inside. I leave someone inside that store.
I struggle with my hand to build this place. So, if by peradventure, and I know that this truck belongs to NNPC, and they don't do anything reasonable about it, well, I cannot say any comment now. Maybe the government will hear later.
Indeed, the director of the Edo State Fire Service says the ugly incident could have been averted in the first place if residents of the area had taken time to adopt safety measures. It therefore calls for everyone to be conscious of how to handle cases like this and other emergencies in the future.
In the same region but to a different state in Bayelsa, the Joint Task Force Operation Delta Safe have shot dead and arrested some members of a gang that killed 4 of its soldiers, took a gunboat and some ammunition on Monday, August the 8th, from their duty post in Nembe local government area.
On the 13th of August 2016, our troops located and raided their hideouts in a camp at Saraba Creek near Okiama community in Okigbene in southern Ijo local government area of Bayelsa State. Several items, including military accoutrements, were recovered from them. In pursuit of these discoveries, a coordinated patrol was further launched. And yesterday, home troops at about 1400 hours, that's 2 p.m., located and engaged these criminals in a shootout in which some of them were believed to have been killed, and large quantities of arms and ammunition and the gunboat that was taken from Nembe on 8 August was recovered.
241 Nigerians who were stranded in Libya have voluntarily returned to the country with the assistance of the International Organization for Migration, that's the IOM, and the Nigerian Embassy in Libya. The returnees comprise 174 men and 67 women, including 6 children. According to the IOM, most of them have been in Libyan detention centers because of immigration issues.
We were able to bring 241 Nigerians who are stranded in Libya. Majority of them were held in detention centers and expressed their willingness to come back to the country. We had 67 female in the group and 174 males. Of the total group, we had 6 children and 3 of them who are less than 1 year, that is infants. They entered Libya without the appropriate papers on their way to Europe, and therefore they ended up being held by the immigration department there. And that's where IOM visited them in the detention centers, and they expressed their willingness to come back to the country.
This is a voluntary return. That's the bottom line. If they are not deported, like my colleague has said, they have immigration issues and they have expressed their willingness to return home on their own volition. This is a collaborative exercise. IOM facilitates their return from Libya, then we take over from them. We give them a reception, we feed them, we accommodate them, then we organize their transportation to the various states and local governments.
Lawmakers in the House of Representatives have a bone to pick with the federal government's school feeding program. Members of the House Committee on Poverty, Alleviation, Legislative, Budget and Research explained to a public hearing, especially with a poor infrastructure in most schools across the country. However, the Senior Special Advisor to the President on Social Investment, Mrs. Miriam Uwais, informed them that the program is meant to add value to the education system.
This is a joint committee session of the House of Representatives Committees on Poverty Alleviation and that of Legislative, Budget and Research. They are meeting to consider the federal government's social intervention program.
We believe that our synergy will assist you also to implement these programs efficiently and effectively, and thereby give comfort to Nigerians that it is not another wild elephant project of the government.
The lawmakers are meeting with the Senior Special Advisor to the President on Social Investment, Mrs. Miriam Uwais. However, one component of the program that catches the attention of most of the lawmakers is the school feeding program.
The targeting of a 17 naira as a maximum threshold for feeding in schools is not realistic. Even the so-called Kaduna feeding program, a lot of those people or the caterers or whatever that provide those foods today are very reluctant in taking foods to schools, because the 17 naira is not going to support feeding a child per day.
Prisoners in this country, the federal government was feeding every prisoner with 250 naira. Now we have to review it to about 450 to 500 naira per prisoner. And here are we talking about our own people. We are talking of feeding Nigerians with 40 to 70 naira.
The presidential aide, however, explained that the program is aimed at providing nutrition for school children and encourage school enrollments in the states.
There's an agricultural, there's a local farmer organization in each state they are assured of consistent income also. So it's a whole series of value additions that come in.
The lawmakers then advised that coordinating units should be set up at both federal and state levels to ensure that the implementation goes unhindered.
Good morning, I'm Aisha Abdullahi.
You're watching news across Nigeria. Coming up, former militants have graduated from an automobile school. Details in just a moment. Don't go away.